Here he is, Groucho Marx, in You Bet Your Life. Presented by DeSoto and the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And here he is, the one, the only...
Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. If any of them say the secret word, they'll win an extra $100. The word tonight is room, R-O-O-M. Welcome back, Doc. George, who's first?
Groucho, Mrs. Betty Hawley, and Dr. Charles L. Camp are waiting to talk to you. So, folks, you grin, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word, and you each get an extra $50. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Betty Hawley and Dr. Charles L. Camp, eh? Betty, spelled B-E-T-T-Y-E. Now, why is that, Betty? Why don't you use the regular orthodox spelling?
Well, I have to be different, I guess, Groucho.
Well, there are other ways, Betty.
Oh, no, there aren't. There's only my way. When I was small...
Very positive about it.
Well, if you hear me out, you'll know.
But if I keep hearing you out, I won't have any show.
Well, anyhow, when I was going...
You've seen my show, haven't you?
Yes, I have, Groucho.
And you've seen me interrupt people?
Yes, I have, and I'm prepared. So I'm going on. Well, anyhow, when I was going to school, I come from a large
Was this
family.
recently?
Well, no, it's been a couple of years. So anyhow, we got together, and there wasn't anybody in school that spelled their name with an E, Betty with an E on the end.
Did you investigate the whole school and see if there was anybody with an E?
No, there was 7 in our class, and we took a vote on it.
Well, where are you from, Betty?
Well, Groucho, I was born in Toledo.
In Toledo, in Spain,
Well,
You
it might be
Spanish, huh?
Spain to you, but it's here in this country, Ohio.
huh? Are you Spanish?
Well, not so as you can notice it.
Well, I wouldn't know how you would notice a thing like that. Well, let's say if you're not Spanish, are you married?
Yes, I am, Groucho.
How'd you meet your husband?
Well, I was working as a waitress in this place, and he used to
What
come in as a
place?
customer. This is years ago.
Oh.
And...
That was the name of it years ago?
And he came in as a customer, and I tried to treat him as a customer, but finally we got a little friendly.
You mean as a customer you weren't friendly, is that it?
Well, after he was a customer of mine for a while, we became friendly.
Now, Dr. Camp, what kind of an imposter are you?
I'm a paleontologist, Groucho.
You're a what? You're an Italian
A
what?
paleontologist.
A paleontologist?
Man that studies fossil bones and the history of life way back through the rocks.
You study fossil bones? Well, Doctor, you don't have to look any further, huh?
No, I don't have to look any further, Groucho, but you'd be surprised how far you do have to look to go after these things.
Well, what brought you to Hollywood, Doctor? A dinosaur?
Not exactly, Groucho. I came down here to Hollywood to work with Mr. Irwin Allen, who's producing... Irwin Allen.
Irwin Allen.
Yes, he's producing a picture here that they're going to call The Animal World.
Didn't he do the sea around us?
Yes, he did. He
Oh,
did
that
the
was a
sea
very
around
good
us, and that was a very successful picture.
I understand this is very
He
good.
wanted me to come down to look over his dinosaurs to see whether they had the right bumps
That's
on
an
them.
old gag. They used to say, come up and see my etchings. Now they say, come over and see my dinosaurs.
Yes, they should.
Now, Doc, who's interested in old bones besides me and the junk man? Just,
Oh,
who do
there.
you work for?
I work for the University of California.
Oh, you're a highbrow, huh? Is there any particular field of paleontology that has engaged your attention?
Yes, Groucho, we've written some of these technical papers. A student of mine and I wrote a paper called The Phylogeny and Functions of the Digital Ligaments of the Horse.
You mean you play the races? Have you got anything good running at Santa Anita? Well, Betty, let's get back to you. What kind of work does your husband do, Betty?
Chuck and I own a restaurant called Hawley's Tough Steaks out in Sherman Oaks in San Fernando Valley.
Oh, Hawley's Tough Steaks. Well, what is the reason for this unusual frankness?
Well, I don't think there's anything unusual about it. We're just truthful. And
Well, you don't think that's unusual?
I can't say about the rest of the restaurants, but I know we don't lie.
You don't.
No, sir, ours are tough
Well-
steaks, and I'm here to tell you they're really tough. And if you don't believe it, you come out and try one.
Now, do you have frog's legs?
Yes, we do.
Well, let me see them. Isn't it incredible how they laugh at an ancient wheeze like that? Now, tell me one thing, Betty. After your customers have dined on this dubious fare, do they ever agree that the steaks are tough?
Well, I can honestly say, and this is one time I am going to tell the truth, that in the 10 years that we've been in business, we have had 4 legitimate complaints.
Well, how do they complain? Through a spirit medium?
Well, no.
Do they get in touch with Bridie Murphy?
No, they were tender, and they had a right to complain.
Have you told us all that? Must have been quite a shock to them. Well, you're an interesting couple, and I'd like to continue this, but the time has arrived for you to play You Bet Your Life. I presume you both know how to play this game, huh? Now, you selected domestic animals and birds as your category. Now, what do you want to start with?
What would you like to, Doctor?
100.
I'm a gambler, 100.
All right, what kind of an animal is a Flemish giant? One answer now, talk it over.
Rabbit.
You probably served that in your restaurant, that's how
Oh,
you
raised them when we were children.
You raised them when you were children?
Well, you're on your way. You have $200 now.
Now, what do you want to try? Do you want to try the 90?
What do you say, Doctor? 90.
All right, what breed of domestic farm animals are Cotswolds, Romney Marshes, and South Downs?
I think so.
Sheep.
Sheep is right.
You now have $290.
The sheep at half the price. Now, what are you going to go for?
80. Huh, Doctor?
Sure.
All right, what breed of domestic animals are Ayrshire's, Ayrshires, Galloways, and Devons? Domestic animals.
I think here's a caliber.
Cattle.
That's right, cattle.
You now have $370.
And now what?
70.
70, isn't it?
What's the
Your
next
last chance to beat the other couples now. All right, what breed of an animal is a hackney?
You say it, Doctor.
A horse.
It's a horse or a steak at Betty's restaurant.
And you wind up with $440.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Miss Sigrid Gahsamas is waiting to talk to you now, and her, since her partner is a special guest whom you invited, I think it's only fair that you introduce him yourself. So, folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word, and you each get an extra $50. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Sigrid Gahsamas?
Gahsamas.
Oh, I know this fella. This is Harry Ruby, an old friend of mine. We asked him to be on the show tonight. Well, how you doing? Pretty good songwriter, too. Well, we were going to have Wolfgang Mozart on the show, but I just...
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, please.
Huh?
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Your boyfriend is Amadeus Mozart, did you
No,
say?
I didn't.
Wolfgang Mozart.
You left Amadeus out.
Amadeus. Well, I always do because I'm in a hurry. I don't want to alarm you, Harry, but there's quite a resemblance between you and Mozart.
Yes, I know.
And you are Sigrid Gahsamas, huh?
Gahsamas.
Gahsamas. Harry, do you think you could write a song called I Will Take You Home Again, Sigrid Gahsamas?
Yes, I think I could.
How would it go?
Now, let's see now, Gahsamas. When you stand like this beside a charming miss, it offers quite a promise. It offers quite a promise. Right away I find a thought comes to my mind. Can I take you home, Gahsamas?
He's just another Shelley and Keats and Byron, that's all. Sigrid, that's your
Yes,
name?
sir.
Sigrid, you
Yeah.
aren't the Sigrid word, are you, Sigrid?
Well, it depends.
What kind of a name is Gahsamas?
Gahsamas is a
That-
Greek name.
Were you born in Greece?
No, I'm born in Meissen in Germany.
Meissen. We have mice in our attic, but we don't... Well, are you married?
No, sir.
Well, would you like to get married?
Well, let's see if I find the right match. Yes, I would marry.
You want to marry a match? You're looking
right
for a light
match.
comedian, huh?
The right match.
Oh. Well, when do you want to get married?
When?
Yeah, I mean, pretty soon.
As quick as possible, if I find the right one, I told you.
Well, could you wait till the show is over?
Well,
Harry, I know you're married, of course. How long has it been?
20 years.
20 years, huh? That's a long time. Do you have any particular formula for success in marriage?
Yes, I have, Groucho. We have a formula that we follow that ensures happiness throughout marriage. We eat breakfast back to back.
Sigrid, how long have you been in America?
oh, not very long.
Well, how long?
Well, it's now 9 months, and I didn't speak any English when I came.
Did you have a job before you came to America?
Well, I've been studying music in Vienna, and I got my Doctor of Philosophy in Music History in the University of Vienna.
What are you, a singer?
No, I'm a pianist. I studied with Wilhelm Backhaus.
Did you ever hear of Harry Ruby, the famous composer, while you were in Austria? He looks a lot like Mozart, you know.
Well, I don't know. The kind of way I remember Mozart, I don't think so that much between Harry and Mozart, and the music is too different, but I'm sure Harry in his field is the same grade maybe as Mozart.
I think so.
Well, you're certainly getting no argument out of you, huh? Well, Sigrid, maybe we can find a husband for you. Do you have any hobbies besides music? Something that might be interesting to a young man?
And my hobby is judo.
Oh, I guess every young fellow is interested in a girl who knows judo. You look pretty rugged. How much do you weigh, Sigrid?
Well, right
I mean,
now...
strip for Jim. Gym is an abbreviation of gymnasium.
Right now, I have a...
Well, let's change it. How much do you weigh? No, let's forget the whole thing.
Well, you can know at 155, it's all muscles anyhow.
Take a feel of it. A giantess. You are pretty strong, aren't you, Sigrid?
Well, yes, of course I am. I can weigh 100 pounds. I lift it up in one arm and let's go.
Well, you mean if you were out with a fella, let's say that you were going out with a fella and you were driving around and he put his arm around you and wanted to kiss you, what do? Throw him out of the car?
No, first of all, it depends.
You break his back or what?
No, it depends who the fellow is and if he gets too nasty. Matter of fact, I broke once of a boyfriend his knee because he just didn't...
He sneezed, you say?
His knee, yes. We had to fight.
You broke his knee?
Yes, I did. No, he wanted to learn judo.
He did. Well, he certainly learned it all right. He cracked up fast, didn't he? Well, give us a demonstration of your muscles. There might be some eligible young man who is interested in a strong girl.
Well...
Let's see your muscles. Harry, you better stand back, eh?
For that, I, of course, studied classic music, and Beethoven is my favorite composer.
Well, mine too, huh?
Yes.
Da-da-da-da.
Exactly
That's the
that.
fifth,
Let's do that. Da-da-dum-dum.
Da-da-da-da.
Dum-dum-dum.
Well, there you are, boys. If there's any man in the country who's interested in a date with Sigrid, just leave your name and number at the box office. And if you're real smart, you'll also leave the name of your neighborhood undertaker.
Well, I can be very soft and nice, too.
No, you are. You're real sweet, Sigrid.
Thank you.
I'm not saying anything about you again. Well, let's talk about your career, Harry. It's been one of the most interesting and successful in the music business, and I think our listeners might like to know some of your background. For example, what are some of the big songs you're responsible for?
Well, 3 little words. Who's sorry now? Nevertheless, thinking of you. I want to be loved by you.
And about 50 others. He's a very shy fellow. Now, Harry, I've known you for many years, and there are some questions I never have asked you. Why did you become a songwriter? Was that the only ambition you ever had?
No, when you fail at one thing, you try something else if you have sense. See what I mean? So I failed.
No, I actually don't, but you can go on with this anyhow.
Well, anyway, I failed as a shoplifter.
You were a shoplifter? Actually a shoplifter?
Yes, I'm not kidding about that, but it must be judged in the light of the time and my age at the time.
You mean everybody was a shoplifter
No,
in
no,
those
no.
days?
Two fellows that I went to school with were shoplifters. They said, boy, you haven't got it. You'll never be a good shoplifter.
This must have done something to you psychologically,
It did
eh?
something to me, and I decided the best way out is to write songs.
Well, that's a natural sequence from shoplifting to songs. Instead of stealing things in Macy's, you stole things from Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, and
sure you
Brahms,
did.
huh?
Yes,
And
Brahms
Schubert,
and
huh?
different people. And then I went to work for the Gus Edwards Publishing Company, demonstrating music in a 5 and 10 cent store. We used to travel in teams, a piano player and a singer. Who do you think my partner was, my first partner?
Sigrid?
Who do you know? Walter Winchell.
Really?
That's on the level.
I thought his first partner was Drew Pearson.
Walter
Well,
Winchell.
did you ever work with anyone else besides
Yes, I
Winchell?
worked in the 5 and 10 store in Atlantic City in two. He worked in one, I worked in the other. George Gershwin.
Gershwin,
A writer, a songwriter,
Never heard of him.
composer. So I wouldn't know much, and I predicted he'd never amount to anything. I also predicted that Walter Winchell would never amount to anything.
You were a pretty shrewd cookie in those days.
It's a good thing I hadn't met you at that time.
I don't know why you don't get a job as a fortune teller. All you need is a crystal ball and you're home. Huh? Well, enough talk about the songwriting business. How about doing some singing? Are you game?
You mean you want me to play?
I'd like you to play the piano and
Well,
sing.
I didn't know I was going to play anything, so I brought my own piano.
You travel by piano?
As a rule, when I don't expect to. How are we going to... Hey, maybe...
Well, we'd better say Sigrid.
How
Show
long?
those muscles there.
Okay.
Would you help bring in the piano, huh? Yes, you keep that. Get away from there, boys. Sigrid will handle that.
Oh, look out.
I don't really need your help.
All right, Groucho, I'll play a few of my songs.
Play some of your own songs first, huh?
Three little words, three little letters which simply mean I love you. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm weak, maybe I'm strong, but nevertheless I'm in love
With
with you. Groucho.
You know, Harry and I go to many parties together, and we always sing this song. I don't know the words too well, but we're going to sing this together. Try it anyhow.
Window cleaning's not a job to rave about.
It won't get you in the Hall of Fame,
No one ever looks at you or points you out.
and the papers never print your name. But it's interesting just the same. Every morning we begin on the outside looking in. You bet we see a lot while we massage the window pane. Out the window we would go if we told the things we know, but we're too wise to scandalize, from gossip we refrain.
As an occupation, our vocation may be very low and mean.
We are not afraid to work, we're paid to keep the windows clean. Oh, we know lots of married men who'd be single once again if we told what we see while we massage the window pane.
Polishing the glasses for the masses isn't what you call ideal.
Even though it's not a cinch, it's got a lot of sex appeal. Oh, but we don't want to advertise. Why should we put husbands wise? If they were wise, there'd be no guys massaging window pane. Boy, what a husband and wife she'd make, huh? Sigrid, you're a real charmer, and I hope you win a lot of money in the quiz.
Thank you.
Now, let's play You Bet Your Life and find out.
In the race for the $1,000, the first couple won $440.
Sigrid, what do you think of Mr. Fenneman?
Oh, I think he's the most charming man. Where is he?
George. Show George how strong you are.
I think he's the most charming
Go
man
over
I
there. She
ever
wants to
met.
show you how strong
Yes,
she
well,
is.
I'd like to
Don't
dance.
run away, George. Huh?
Can we dance?
Well, you selected the literary quiz. Harry, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You've done nothing but read books for 40 years, and you take a literary quiz? You're taking advantage of me.
I am, huh?
All right. Now, remember, the more the question's worth, the harder it is. Now, what do you want to start with? You can go from 10 to 100. And we won one answer.
100.
100.
And by the way, Groucho, if I do happen to win anything,
You going to give it to me?
it'll be donated to the Los Angeles County Heart Association.
Oh, well, that's very nice. All right, for $100. Edmund Rostand will be remembered for generations because of his classic play. It has also been made into a movie. What is the name of Rostand's great story?
I know that.
Rostands.
Yes, I know that, Groucho. I can't think of it.
Classic play, famous movie. What's the name of Rostand's great story?
I know, and I couldn't think of it.
If anybody in the world should know, it's you. Because it's Cyrano.
It's what?
Cyrano.
Cyrano.
Never heard of it.
Turn sideways. Now, shouldn't he know Cyrano de Bergerac?
I should have
All right,
known
for
that.
90, huh?
You have $50 now. You lost half the 100.
All right. Who was the American writer who gave us such well-known stories as Death Comes for the Archbishop and Sapphira, and the Slave Girl?
Willicate?
Willa Cather or Catherine.
You now have $140.
$80?
Hmm?
80?
Let's try.
The celebrated jumping frog of Calaveras County was one of the first stories to come from the pen of what famous American author?
Samuel Clemens, otherwise known as Mark Twain.
Lewis and Clark is right.
You're right. He's kidding
Mark
you.
Twain.
That's right.
All
You
right,
have
for
$220.
70?
70, it's up to you.
He's
Don.
more clever than I am. I know nothing about American
No,
literature.
70.
All right. One of the classics studied by most school children is The Charge of the Light Brigade. Who wrote it?
What's the name?
Tennyson.
Yes.
Tennyson and Lewis and Clark is right.
And you wind up with $290.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealer.
I should have known. the
Yes,
first
you
one.
should. Turn around again, Harry. You should have known. Goodbye, Sing.
That means that Mrs. Hawley and Dr. Camp, with $440, in just 1 minute will get the chance at the $1,000 question.
Now, before we go on with the show, I'd like to say a few words. You know, a lot of people ask me, why do we have 255 horsepower in the DeSoto? Well, they have it for very specific reasons. They're for reasons of safety, actually. You know, the car, you can go 90 or 100 miles an hour in that car, but that isn't the reason they have that power. They don't want you to drive that fast. But what it's great for is if you're out on the open road, you've got the surge of power there, you just fly ahead, and that's a great safety factor in an automobile, to have that surplus power and to be able to call upon it when you need it. And that's the reason that they have these giant 255 horses cowering under that hood.
Here's the winning couple, Groucho, Mrs. Hawley and Dr. Camp, all set for the $1,000 question. You come right back in here.
Well, this is the big stake race. Here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. You ready? We're all familiar with the famous Texas fort known as the Alamo. For $1,000, in what city is this historic Texas shrine located? One answer now.
You give it, Doctor.
Well, I'll say Houston.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's San Antonio. I'm sorry. That means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win in the quiz, George?
Well, they went the complete
They went
distance.
the full limit?
440,
440?
yeah.
Well, that's not too bad. Congratulations, and
much.
thanks to all of our contestants on the show tonight. Sorry you didn't win the big one. Thank you. Friends, go in and see a DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow. And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
This is George Fenneman signing off with a message from the National Safety